Okay, this is the Biology 2012 B1 exam foundation paper. This is question 4. We've got questions about mammoths. When animals die, they usually fall to the ground and decay. In 1977, the body of a baby mammoth was discovered. The baby mammoth died 40,000 years ago and its body froze in ice. This picture shows the mammoth. There you can see. Explain why the body of the baby mammoth did not decay. Okay, so we're going to think about why does decay happen. You've got microbes, you've got respiration going in the microbes. They decompose all the body tissues of the things that they're in. Why didn't this one decay? Well, it said its body was frozen in ice, but you've got to combine that knowledge with your knowledge of microbes. So the first thing is that the temperature was too low for the microbes to function. Temperature too low, or you could just say it was too cold for microbes to function. Okay, so there's your first mark and there's your second mark, and if you want to be fancy, so they could not decompose the mammoth. Once the mammoth had unfrozen, you had to do special things to make sure it doesn't carry on decomposing. If you just left it, it would begin to decompose as soon as modern microbes got in. But the people who found this one have done all kinds of clever things to stop that from happening. Okay. Part B, it says mammoths are closely related to modern elephants. These pictures show these two animals so you can see them. Tusks and a trunk in both cases. Slightly differently shaped tusks, and the shape of the back and the head a little bit different in the mammoth and the elephant, but still very similar animals. You've got a fur coat there, and there are hairs on elephants, but it's not hairy all over. Different habitats explain that. Mammoths are extinct. That's in italics, so it's a special word. What does extinct mean? Key thing here is it's not good enough to say mammoths have died. All kinds of things have died, but they're not extinct. Extinct means every mammoth has died and there's no more left. So the right answer here is that all mammoths have died. Or you can say all members of the species have died. Or if you're going to be really picky, you can say extinct means all members of a species has died, because we're not just talking about mammoths, we're talking about anything could be extinct. Okay, so on to the next part. Scientists believe they may be able to use adult cell cloning. That means taking a cell from an adult and making a complete copy of it as a new organism. Now that's been done with quite a few animals. One of the famous ones is Dolly the sheep. Decades ago now, we actually made a copy of a sheep. Not been done with humans yet. And there's lots of problems of doing it with humans, but wouldn't it be interesting if you could take this baby mammoth and make a complete new mammoth out of its cells? So this is all about that. The scientists will use a skin cell from the baby mammoth. So here's the skin cell, and the diagram shows the skin cell will be used. If you get a diagram like this, try and understand it before you have a go at answering the questions, because there's going to be a lot of questions about it, so having a good understanding works. So we've got a baby mammoth and an adult female elephant. Take a skin cell there and a cell here. From the skin cell we split it up into two parts. That looks like it's going to be the nucleus, and that's going to be the cell itself, and the nucleus gets used. Here we've got a cell and the cell itself is used, but the nucleus is thrown away. So we've got the cytoplasm, that's the jelly inside a cell from the adult elephant, and the nucleus from the baby mammoth. They join together to make one cell, so that has to be inserted in there. And then that replicates, so we've got a ball of cells. The ball of cells is put inside an adult elephant, and we end up with a cloned mammoth. Okay, we've got symbols here, A, B, C, D and E. That's very good. Let's see the questions now. In each question, draw a ring around the correct answer. What type of cell is cell A? Well, it tells us it's a skin cell. Oh, sorry. Here, this is the cell from the adult female elephant. Now, if that's going to become a new baby inside the elephant, it has to be an egg cell. It can't be a sperm cell because it's coming from a female elephant, so that's definitely wrong. If it were a skin cell, the problem with skin cells is they can't really replicate and turn themselves into embryos, so that doesn't work, so that's the right answer. Part B is removed from cell A. Here's part B. What part of it is it? Nucleus, cytoplasm or cell membrane? Well, it can't be the cell membrane because if you did that the whole thing would fall apart. The cytoplasm is the jelly inside the cell, and actually this is just a black dot, so that wouldn't work. It's actually the nucleus, and the reason it's removed is we do not want the genetic information from the elephant anywhere near the final clone mammoth. It's the mammoth genetic information we want. After cell C is formed, it divides into embryo cells. So they divide into embryo cells. What's done to cell C to make it divide? You can't work this one out, you've just got to know it. It's an electric shock. So there it is. Electric shock makes it divide. 4C, part 4. The embryo cells form a ball of cells. The ball of cells will be put into a female elephant E. It might not be the same one that you got the egg cell from. Which part of elephant E is the ball of cells put into? Not the ovary, because that's not where embryos grow, that's where the egg cells first come from. Not the stomach, because that would digest them, so you're left with the womb, or the other word for the womb is the uterus. The scientists expect any offspring of the adult cell cloning to look like a mammoth and not like an elephant. Why? Okay, all the genetic information in cell C came from here, which came from this skin cell, which came from that mammoth. None of the genetic information came to the elephant. That was thrown away at this point. The elephant just provided an egg cell for the nucleus to sit in. So the answer here is all the genetic information in the embryo came from the mammoth. And that's question 4.